Guys, it's that time again for us to go ahead and take a look at the Game 8 tier list. Now, it's been a hot minute since we've gone ahead and checked out what these boys have cooked up. So, every now and then, I think it's nice to see what they have to say on the game. And we've gotten an influx of ridiculous units the past couple of months. So, I'm curious to see where Game 8 stands on their rankings for where they would place these units. And if you're wondering why we're picking on Game 8 today, it's because they're really the only website or entity in the entire Fae community at all that is still doing a running tier list of every single unit in the game. So we're going to go ahead and check it out, and then also we'll take a look at their top 5s for each color because they have a separate little section for that. And then we'll segue into my own top 5 for each color. So why don't we take a look over here? Let's see where they have the top tier heroes of the game. They do it by a number system out of 10. So 9.9 out of 10 is the highest rating they will give a unit. And then right below that, the highest they will give is a 9.5 out of 10. If we go ahead and do a lot of scrolling, we can see that is the next highest tier for them. So let's see what's up. Let's see who they have in 9.9. Okay, we have Emblem in there. A little spotty for 9.9 at this point. I'd probably have him as like a 9.5, but okay. All right, Brave Felix, sure, no complaints. Summer Gulvague, I don't know if I would have her as a 9.9 either. I would certainly have her as a very good 9.5, like one of those units that I think is actually kind of slept on, mainly because she doesn't have much of a presence in Summoner Duels, but in the case of Aether Raid's offense, I feel like she is just straight up the best unit for Aether Raid's offense. As long as you find a way to get around their far save, like this unit is just a complete free win at that point. So, yeah, I use her basically all the time if I have the option to. So, yeah, I think she's very good, but I wouldn't have her as a 9.5. Okay, Emblem Sigurd, no complaints whatsoever. We got Winter Edelgard still in here somehow. Now, I know a lot of people complain before, like, sometimes we'll look at these Game 8 tier lists, and they'll have old units in here that they don't adjust the ratings for, but it's clear to me that they have actually gone ahead and adjusted ratings for older units, because they used to have, like, Brave Hector in here, and so on and so forth, like New Year Gagger and such, that would just always remain 9.9 out of 10, and they wouldn't adjust for, like, the most current, up-to-date meta. But it certainly seems like they have at this point. So the fact that Winter Edelgard is still in here, I think, is a bit dubious. I wouldn't have her as a 9.9. All right, we have Haethrun, Mythic Haethrun. Absolutely no complaints there. Atun Micaiah, once again, no complaints from me. Then we have Valentine's Leon. I don't know if he's a 9.9 anymore. He certainly he might have been like a 10 out of 10 at one point in the game. But right now, not so much. And it's not even because, like, Kanto Curb stops him from ending actions or anything, because his end action thing is still probably his strongest asset, especially from his duo skill where he doesn't even have to attack. He can just line up with your units and then just start ending turns just like that. But his DPS is incapable of breaking through anything anymore after, like, Divine Nectar and Breath of Life support. So Breath of Life has put this guy on life support, pretty much. All right, and then finally we close off with Ninja Lucina, a very strong contender here. You're not going to hear any complaints whatsoever from me. In fact, I might actually be inclined to say I think Ninja Lucina is the best unit in the game right now. May seem a little odd to say, but there was a moment of revelation about that for me not too long ago, like a couple of Aether Raid seasons ago, where I just realized I was running Ninja Lucina on every single team. Like, this was back before I had ditched her from my Aether Raid's defense. So I was running her on Aether Raid's offense. I had her on defense. I was running her for one of my arena team setups. Because, like, I have two different arena teams. I have one to get max score. And then I have a separate one just, like, after I've done my run to just go ahead and farm wins so I can get the daily missions done. I have her on there. I have her on, like, all of my PvE teams. It's like every single chance I get to run Ninja Lucina, I just run her. So it was at that point that I kind of realized, yeah, this is probably the best unit in the game. Her duo skill is fantastic, getting the second action. So she can play as a possible Gale Forcer if you want for Aether Raid's offense. She's a pretty good wall buster with her duo skill, like giving her the ability to break through something and then move again. She's got the brave attacking. She's got a ton of true damage. And then also, she's possibly like the best support unit in the game too. I think Future Witness is the strongest support effect right now. Because the amount of stuff you get out of Future Witness is just overkill. So, yeah, there is definitely a very valid argument to be made for Ninja Lucina being number 1. We're not going to take the time to go through all of their 9.5s because we'd be here for like 5 hours. I don't want this video to be that long. But we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom because they also have a community-voted, like, tier here. They have, like, top 3s, but we're going to take a look at top 5s anyway, so this doesn't even matter. Okay, so here, they had a vote. Like, all the people, I guess, who go on Game 8 or who contribute to Game 8, they allowed them to vote. Who do you think is the best unit? And Emblem Mike ended up winning with 32 votes. Brave Felix came in second place with 23, and then Emblem Sigurd is in third place with 12 votes. So, obviously, Felix and Sigurd I have no complaints about, but Ike still being the number 1 unit, I think that time has long since passed, for sure. And you may also be saying 32 votes, like, is that really that much? That's a very paltry amount of voters, but then again, that's also the entire player base of Faye. So I wouldn't hold it too against them for only 32 votes determining who the number 1 unit is. All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at their top 5 for every color. So the best red heroes, they have Brave Felix at number 1. We've got Emblem Mike at number 2, Summer Gulveg at number 3, Attuned Hector at number 4, and then Halloween Nagi at number 5. Interesting. I would have both of these armored units above Ike right now. It's just way better to be an armor bait unit in this day and age when we've got Shield Fighter and so on, as opposed to just being an infantry omni-tank like Ike. So, yeah, I would certainly have them above. I don't even know if I'd have Gulveg in my top 5, and there's a very obvious and blatant thing missing here, which... Okay, come on. They have to have her at least as a runner-up, right? There's no way she... Okay, there she is. Yeah, I was about to say. There is no way they have her lower than 9.5 if she's not up here. But yeah, Needhogger is clearly... I think I'd have her as the best red unit too, and I'd have her as a 9.9 out of 10. All right, next up for blue units, let's see what they've got here. So, Emblem Sigurd at number 1. I think that's fair. Winter Edelgard at number 2, really? You got Winter Edelgard over the likes of Brave Crom and Young Robin? I don't know about all that, man. That seems a bit ingenuous. These kids are just massive Edelgard stands, probably. I think the Japanese community is very big on Edelgard. That could possibly be why she does so well in Choose Your Legends, like, every single time. But, or not Choose Your Legends, A Hero Rises. So, yeah, I don't know about all that, but like I said before, Winter Edelgard should not be this high anymore. And then we have Brave Crom with the Refine, who is very good. Young Robin, who I think is also very good. And then Emblem Celica, I think we can certainly do better. Her ring is very good. If you want to attribute the ring of Celica as being part of her as a unit, I think maybe I might let that slide, but I don't know, because I would equate the rings to being the same as skill fodder. So, like, Emblem Sigurd comes out with Momentum 4. If I were to inherit Momentum 4 on a different unit, like, let's say, who would be a good unit to give Momentum 4 to? Let's think here. I don't know, like Brave Seliph, like AoE Brave Seliph. If I'm giving him Momentum 4, am I attributing that to Emblem Sigurd being the reason why Seliph is so good now? I don't think so. So for people to do that with Celica's ring, like giving Celica's ring to a unit like Brave Felix and then saying, oh, that's all Celica, that's all thanks to her. I don't know if I would do that, personally. So that's my thought on the ring being tied to her, but obviously she has one of the best rings for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to green now. They have Haithrun at number 1, which I think is definitely a solid choice. We've got Attuned Micaiah at number 2, Valentine's Leon at number 3, Ninja Diamant at number 4. What are you doing here, sir? Yeah, I don't know about that. Wait, whoa. Yeah, I don't even know how that happened. What is going on here? All right, and then we have Legendary Ninian at number 5. They really, really adore Legendary Ninian. I used to as well. Like, having a dancer with action economy, like she can just dance and then get another action for herself. That's always been very good. Right now, though, I don't really think I care too much about that. I don't even know if I care too much about dancers anymore, because with the likes of Haythrun and Ninja Lucina and like all these units that can just pop an assist and then move again, you don't really need dancers anymore to get your action economy. You can just, like, all of the best units right now have action economy built in somehow. So it's not really all that necessary to have a dancer anymore, at least not for SD. Obviously, in Aether Raid's offense, they're always good to have, but, like, yeah, I don't know. And on Aether Raid's defense, too, dancers, I think, have been phased out by Haythrun just being able to rally and give people extra actions. So, yeah, not too big on dancers and Legendary Ninian right now. Okay, and then finally, for colorless, they have Ninja Lucina at number 1. We got Lay Radar at number 2. Halloween Asker at number 3. Pretty respectable top 3, to tell you the truth. But then these other two here, Brave Robin at number 4 and Bride Embla at number 5. I don't know if I would have them as, like, top 5 all-time colorless. I've really fallen hard on Brave Robin, too, by the way. I feel like the community probably oversold how good she was on release, because if we think about it, if we look back, a lot of the ways to counter her and check her already existed by the time she came out. It's just that we were too stupid to realize it back then. So, yeah, I don't know. I've gone back and done revisionist history with her. I don't really think she was as insane as we thought originally, but she's certainly still a good unit. She's not a terrible unit or anything. Like, I would certainly say she's deserving of being a 9.5, but I don't know about top 5 all-time colorless right now. And then Bride Embla is just like run King Freyr, pretty much. As long as King Freyr is on the enemy team, or like any decent unit, like Bride Embla doesn't really have much influence. If she's not using Undefended, like that's pretty much it. She doesn't really have much of an influence on the outcome of the fight at that point. So you can make the case that, yeah, she's a nice flying Gale Forcer. Yeah, she's a nice cooldown charge supporter for allies. But at the end of the day, the only reason you would run her is for the Undefended. And that's not very consistent to do. So, yeah, there we go for their top 5. So that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about with Game 8. They, like, obviously we could go really in-depth if we wanted to, but every single time I do that, the video ends up being like an hour long. So why don't we go ahead and skip to my top 5s now for every color. So here we go. We've gone ahead and compiled a list, and then we have some honorable mentions that I was thinking about maybe getting in top 5, but then they didn't make the cut. So starting off with red, we've got Needhogger for me. We have also Brave Felix. Then we have Winter for Mortis. We've got Attuned Hector, Attuned Hector, and then we also have Halloween Nagi there. So as you can see, we have 4 out of 5 red units being armor types. It's a very good time to be an armor type unit right now, specifically if you're a near saver too. Because if you're a near saver and you're running Shield Fighter, there's not really any near attacking units that can beat Shield Fighter, because we don't have any good brave attacking or potent attacking near units right now. So Shield Fighter armors that have near save are actually living large. They are looking really good. So that's how we have red. Then on green, we've got Emblem Lyn. We've got Haythrun. We have Brigid, who just recently came out, the Attuned Brigid. I don't have her yet, and I've never even had a chance to face her yet, because literally she came out a couple of hours ago. But that being the case, I like just looking at her kit and looking at how similar in function she's going to be to units like Emblem Lyn and also the Winter Shez. I think she has a solid place in the meta right now, and for sure, her inbuilt Miracle effect means that she needs one less support than Emblem Lyn to be able to bust through all of these very stubborn armor-type units. So I think she's definitely very good. Then, of course, we have Winter Shez, who is another one of these premier, like, wall busters. This is why Far Save is in a little bit of a rougher spot than Near Save. Like I mentioned before, there's not really a good brave attacking or potent attacking near unit. Whereas we've got, like, a plethora of brave attacking and potent attacking range units that can possibly bust right through Shield Fighter. So That's why I've got all of these 3 in there. And then we have Atun Micaiah, of course. Miss Mary Sue, just doing everything. Everyone loves her. She does, like, every single possible effect. She's got warping. She's got penalty cleansing, healing, debuffing, support. Like, it's all there, right? So, like, can't really argue against her. All right, next up in blue, we've got New Year Needhogger here, who is basically just as good as the Mythic one, except better because you can actually bless her. So, yeah, there you guys go with that. And then we have Emblem Sigurd at number 2. We've got Young Female Robin. We've got Brave Bernadetta. And then here's an interesting one that I've kind of, like, came around on a little bit. When Winter Allure dropped on the trailer for the Winter banner, I was kind of down on him, honestly. I was, like, downplaying him a little. But the more time he's had to stew in the pot, and the more time I've had to think about him, I actually kind of like him. Him being a dragon-type unit gives him access to a lot of good skills right now, like Barricade, for example, High Dragon Wall, Kanto Curb. He's just a really easy support-type unit to slide onto a team. And then not only that, but he's also giving his own unique support effect. What's it called again? Divinely Inspiring, I think, something like that. That's a really solid support effect. And then on top of that, he also has his duo button, which is really good, and it penalty cleanses. So I think he's actually a pretty good unit. I might have been a little too hard on him on release, but I have come around to him. He does have a lot of tools in the shed to really give him a place on a lot of these teams. All right, and then finally for colorless, we've got Ninja Lucina. We have the New Year Hathorun. We've got Lay Radar. We got Winter Hortensia. And then this one was a really tough choice between Ectordeer, the Mythic one, and also Halloween Asker. I had them like neck and neck. In the end, though, I just barely edged it to Ectordeer because I prefer his player phase capabilities as opposed to Asker, where it feels like Asker is more so just like a supporty type of unit. You're going to have him sit around supporting allies and then maybe trying to omni-tank. This guy can do another possible thing, which is player phase really well. And he's also a really good recipient of the Emblem Sigurd ring. So, yeah, him being able to control more space, I think, gives him the edge here. So, yeah, there we go for my top 5s of every color, and then these are just the honorable mentions. We talked about Gulvega already. Then we've got Marnie and the Halloween Na here as possible other armor-type units you could go for. Both of them are very good. The Dragon-type Ymir, who has secretly been a really good unit for a while now, that I don't think too many people have noticed how useful she has been. But it's ever prevalent now with Lyn being a thing, and she can just easily give the miracle support to Lyn while also rallying or repositioning or whatever assist you want to give her to penalty cleanse and then heal the team. And, like, she's actually able to do quite a lot of things right now. So I am very high on this unit, and I have secretly been for a while, but yeah, still not enough to crack her way into top 5, but certainly a unit worth mentioning. And then Nurgle, who is very good, of course, but we've got 2 units that have dosage now. So, unfortunately for him, kind of a little bit out of luck. But he's still very good, and especially if Needhogger doesn't show up, then this guy can just pull off a lot of shenanigans. Alright, then for blue, we've got Fiorm, the Ice Tribe Fiorm, or Ice Skater Fiorm, whatever theme that banner was. She's not really sturdy enough as a far save anymore. Like I said before, the far savers have it way rougher because a lot of these ranged attackers are just better wall breakers than the melee units now. But her duo skill is still like one of the nastiest. Setting up 2 rows of ice tiles for 2 turns, that's insidious. Like, that's a really, really baity and turtly duo skill. So I do like her still for that, but as far as tanking is concerned, I don't think she's held up too well. Then we have King Freyr, of course, just goes without saying. He's got to be on your defense team. Otherwise, you don't really have a good defense team. All right, then Brave Crom, his action economy, his ability to steal bonuses and all that stuff is very good. Duo Thor, who has surprisingly aged better than Mythic Loki, who was supposed to be her replacement, I think is hilarious because, I mean, of course, when Mythic Loki came out, we all thought she was going to be the new Duo Thor. Come to find out, Duo Thor is still, like, the tits. Mainly because of, like, nowadays these support units are able to do support mid-turn as opposed to just start of turn. So, for example, Ninja Lucina can pop her assists to give everybody future witness and so on and so forth. The only way you're taking that off is with Duo Thor's duo skill, as opposed to Nurgle trying to steal the bonuses, which can't happen if they have dosage. So Duo Thor doesn't give a shit about dosage or anything else. She just turns off everything. So I think she can still be a worthwhile option to run. Legendary Fa just recently got her remix, and it's pretty good, right? Like, there's nothing bad to say about it. In that same regard that we talked about the duo Alir, how he's got a bunch of support, being a dragon-type unit, Fa's got access to all that as well. She can run Canto Curb. She can run Barricade. She's free to run, like, High Dragon Wall. Like, all these really good dragon support skills are options for her. And then she's got a better miracle effect than he does. So I think she can certainly be a legitimate option here. And then for the final two, we talked about Halloween Asker a little bit in his matchup with Ector Deer, but I edged it out to Deer Dude. And then finally, Fallen Maria, another miracle support type unit who has been actually on the rise lately with all of the staff type buffs we've been getting. Like, we just recently got Wrathful Staff on an ace skill. We also got it as a Sacred Seal, and then we've got like Ice Lock now and all these crazy good skills. She can run Canto Curb also, being an infantry type. So I thought definitely worth a mention to have Fallen Maria in here. So there you guys go. That is my top 5 units of every color. And we also took a look at what Game 8 had to say. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. And this is your boy Tacho signing out. So take care, fellas, and I will catch y'all again on the flip side.